In this video, I'm going to show you a cheap and practical itinerary for those who want to visit the Amalfi Coast. You want to visit the main towns, the island of Capri, all the beautiful places there, in a more practical, easy way, the logistics, getting around less, paying less for hotels, and saving a little more. Rest assured that you can get to know the Amalfi Coast in a more economical and practical way. So don't forget, guys, to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, because that's really important for us, that's really helpful, so buckle up. Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the Grupo Dicas, the largest travel content network in the world, and today we're going to talk about a sensational place called the Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast is in Italy and it's a beautiful place, guys, paradisiacal, really beautiful, and you will probably visit it between the months of May and October, because if you go in winter, you might be able to, it's cheaper, but there's a lot of wind, it's very cold, so people tend to go to enjoy the European summer. So these are more or less the months that people travel. There are lots of tips, okay guys, to give you the Amalfi Coast, but in this video I'm going to talk about the itinerary, a basic and practical itinerary for those who want to explore the whole Amalfi Coast, but in a quick way, spend a little less so that it's not such an expensive trip, because the hotels, the cities, the most luxurious restaurants there are expensive. It's one of the most expensive trips in Italy compared to other cities, but you can enjoy everything and it's easier and cheaper, and you will see that it is possible. So let's go for the tips. So just to get everyone up to speed, the Amalfi Coast is in the south of Italy, in the region of Campania, a very nice region that's in Naples, a bit higher up, and if you go up for another 2.5 hours from the Amalfi Coast, there's the city of Rome. Rome is up there, so it's not that far from Rome. A lot of people do what, guys? My tip, right? If you've already been to Rome, there's no need to stay in Rome, as you will probably arrive there, because flights from Brazil, for example, other countries, Argentina, Chile, almost everywhere in South America and Europe mainly go to Rome. That's where the biggest international airport is, Rome and Milan, but Milan is way up there, so try to prioritize arriving in, going and returning from Rome, because then you will be close to the Amalfi Coast region. So you arrive in Rome, what happens? Do you already know Rome? Stay 1-2 days or none at all if you like it, but if you don't know it, I know you're looking forward to seeing the Amalfi Coast, but get to know Rome, stay for at least 3 or 4 days, because it's an incredible city, well worth it. There's a video here about itineraries, what to do in Rome, Rome itineraries, take a look, do your research, but if you're going to focus on the Amalfi Coast, Rome is the point of arrival. You will arrive in Rome and then you will have to go down there. So what's a nice, easy and cheap route for people to take? You will first go to Naples. Naples is a very nice region, it's close by. What do I think? Naples is a cheap city, right? So you can spend 2 days in Naples. It's a very nice historic area for you to visit. There is a very cheap and beautiful hotel that we stayed at, which is in the middle of the palace. I'll leave the link here in the description of the video, in the first fixed comment, the link to all the hotels we stayed in. This one in Naples is beautiful and cheap. It's a very cheap one, easy option, and you will be in the historic center. Get to know Naples for 1 day, so you will have the first day of this tour of southern Italy. After Rome, you will have the first day in Naples, enjoy the city, the pizza. It's considered the best pizza in Italy. Take a look around the tourist center, you won't spend much, it's super nice, it's a super cool and cultural place. Then on your second day in Naples, you can take a trip to Pompeii. Pompeii, guys, is an incredible city, just 30 minutes from Naples, and it has a very tense story behind it. It was devastated by a volcano and all the inhabitants and houses were buried by ash and smoke. It wasn't even the lava that killed everything, it was a general devastation, guys. It's quite tense. When you start to see it, they've preserved it. There are people, dogs, I don't even know the word for it, people that were stuffed in there, you know. But with the smoke, I'm going to put the photo here so you can understand, but it's very tense. The story is sad, but it made a big impression and the city was excavated, so it's just the way it was. One of the only cities in Italy where you can actually see what the stores, restaurants, pharmacy use it to look like. It's surreal, it feels like you're in a movie. It's even more incredible than Rome, but it's a very different thing and it's worth spending a whole day there. And then after Pompeii, you go down to start exploring the Amalfi Coast. So the coast, guys, has the main towns that you've probably heard about and the ones you want to know about, which are Amalfi, Positano, Capri, which is an island, the beautiful island of Capri, and Ravello. Those are the main ones, okay? There are towns, yes, but we're going to focus on these because they're the coolest to visit. The only thing is that they're very expensive, so it's much more expensive to stay there. Realistically, if you want to stay and you're on a budget, it's an incredible experience, but for those who are looking for a more economical itinerary, here's the golden tip: stay in Sorrento. Sorrento is a city that's a bit downhill from Naples. You can reach it by train. There are many trains that go directly from Rome to Naples and from Naples to Sorrento, so it's a high-speed train. It's super smooth, easy, fast. You get there in 2.5 hours in total, practically. You get to Sorrento from Rome if you come straight from there. But why Sorrento? Because Sorrento is one of the biggest cities in Italy. It has a very good hotel structure. There's everything there and the hotels are very cheap, and it's a beautiful city. It's nice. It already has the atmosphere of the Amalfi Coast, but it's close to all the others, and it has a very famous port there where you can take boats and ferries to all the towns on the Amalfi Coast. So you stay there, get a nice hotel. The one we stayed at, guys, was a very good price, cheap, well located, and next to the port, which is where you need to go every hour to catch the boat to the towns on the Amalfi Coast. So I'll leave it down here. Take a look. It's a very nice hotel and you can stay there. You will save a lot. It's much cheaper, and from there you can go to the other towns. You have to go to Positano, which is an hour away. Amalfi is a bit further, maybe an hour and a half. The island of Capri is right next door. It's easier to get to, and you will have to see how you're going to get around. That's the big question, guys. On the Amalfi Coast, that's the main tip. The main challenge is to how to get to the place. You can go by land, you can go by car, you can go by scooter, you can rent a motorcycle, which I think is the easiest way for those who like it, right? Because the roads aren't easy. Italian traffic, it's a bit chaotic, so be careful, but there's the possibility of renting a scooter there on the spot, a motorcycle, and getting around. But let's get to the first point, shall we? I highly recommend renting a car in Italy. I think it's a great option to do Tuscany, to go to down there, but it's very difficult to get into these small towns because there's very little parking and it's very crowded in summer. You're going to have problems. Everyone does. You can't get a place. You have to go back. It's chaos. It's very complicated, guys. So my opinion, right, what we found really nice in Sorrento, there's the ferry right next door. Do everything by boat, guys. There are boat trips that take you directly, which are smaller boats. You pay, you book a package for 10 people, 5 people, and it goes to the island of Capri, to Positano, to Amalfi. In an hour and a half, they get there. And there are also ferries, which are those gigantic boats that are very common in Greece too. You can take them every hour to all the towns, so you can buy everything, and you're already in the city, in the main part, in the tourist part, near the beach, so you don't have to keep moving around looking for parking, traffic, worrying. I found the sea way the easiest, okay, guys? Anyone who wants to go by boat is very welcome. I'll give you the website where we buy all the tours and tickets in Europe. They're very good and have all the tours. Just type in Sorrento, you will see that all the tours leaving from Sorrento will appear. There is the one to the island of Capri that I highly recommend you to take. It's a boat that takes you there. The cool thing about boat trips, guys, if you take the tour, for example, through this website, it's an excursion. You will have a guide. He will take you around the Amalfi Coast. They stop in Capri, Amalfi, Positano, and shows you one by one. The ferries are a form of transportation, but they drop you off at the port. You get off and you're on your own. So see which one you think is the best for your itinerary. So the tip I'd give to you is to base yourself in Sorrento, then go to the island of Capri one day and take the boat trip there, which is beautiful. There's the Blue Grotto, which is the most beautiful thing in the world. Everything is included. You get to know the island well, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world and the most popular in the world. So you've already booked a day for Capri, then you will also go for a day to Positano, which is beautiful, guys. If you're short on time, if you're short, there is a tour on this website, the Amalfi Coast Tour. It's a day trip. You go with a guide who will take you to Ravello, Positano, and Amalfi. It's a general tour that you will do more quickly. There is a guide, everything. It's a way of getting to know it more quickly. I would recommend that you do Positano one day because Positano is beautiful, which was the one I liked best on the Amalfi Coast. Explore the town, eat there, go to the beach, have fun, then go back back to Sorrento, then the next day you go to Amalfi. Amalfi can be combined with Ravello. You can visit both on the same day or separate, so you can do one day each, one day Positano, one day both Ravello and Amalfi together, so you can put your itinerary together according to your liking. But this way you will pay cheaply. You will only have to pay for the ferry ride, the hotel will be very cheap, and you won't have to spend anything on the city tours because you already be there. You just have to walk around, seeing the sights, the beach. You will spend a bit on the beach to get a chair, have some drinks, but it's a much better way of saving money than staying in those towns on the Amalfi Coast. If you want to stay there, I'm going to do another video next, which is the perfect itinerary for the Amalfi Coast. You can stay in each one and spend more days in each town, but it's much more expensive on a budget. It's a very expensive place, it's super busy and it's small. The towns are small, that's why it's so expensive and so difficult to get around, but it is definitely beautiful. It's super worth it, guys. Organize yourself properly. It's an unforgettable trip. If you have the opportunity, you can pay a little bit more to stay in those cities that I talked about, but in general, you don't need. It's always a pleasant trip. And down here, guys, I'll leave all the links. We use it to organize our trips, which are the cheapest places for everything. Travel insurance is mandatory. Don't forget that for practically the whole of Europe. Use the comparator. We have a website here that compares all the insurance companies and finds very cheap prices. It's surreal, guys. It's $13 a day for very good insurance from a good insurance company. The car rental comparator is incredible. I find the best prices. This website sells all the tours and excursions, the hotels we stayed in. Take a look. The ferries, the train tickets, it's all down here. Take a look, you will like it, and you will be able to plan your whole trip to the Amalfi Coast. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us a lot. And don't forget to check out the other videos, which are very good. I'll leave you with the one on how to travel cheaply in Italy. It's a very complete video that teaches you how to plan your entire trip from start to finish with everything you need to know. And here's the playlist with all the other videos on Italy for you to watch. So thank you very much, guys, and have a nice trip.